All right, it is 17 minutes after 7. And it's time to check in with Dan in Sonoma. If I can find the button here.
All my friends know.
There we go. Dan, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Sean. As usual, as expected, I should say, the media had virtually nothing to say. You look at all the stories, and they're about nothing of importance. Because, again, the big story of the week is going to be this debate, which we will have forgotten about by this time next week. But before we get into that, let's go back to Chinese Communist Mayor Sheng Chao. She's kind of fun to talk about.
She didn't do it. She didn't do it, Dan.
According to her, it's hilarious. You look at KTVU Channel 2 News. Obviously, they're based in Oakland, so that's the big story for them. She's in complete denial. Her lawyer said, "Oh no, she didn't do anything," and then he resigns. He backs away, and her chief spokesperson leaves office. So the rats are abandoning ship. You look at the picture on California Globe of this woman here, Sheng Chao. She has this unmistakable guilt look on her face. You know she's in serious trouble. She knows he's in serious trouble. It's also curious why the FBI has yet revealed as to why they went there. Usually there's some statement or something. My guess is that they're treating her differently because she's a Democrat, a hardcore communist Democrat. So there's a similarity to when Biden, his home was, well, not raided, but the FBI went there to get documents and so forth. She's in serious trouble. I'm like everybody else. I just can't wait to find out exactly what she did wrong. And how long will it take her I think she will resign or be forced out because there's a lot of pressure to get this woman out of here. I love it when hardcore leftists get into trouble like this because it's just, it's fun to see them squirm.
I was kind of shocked. They usually leave those people alone. They seem to be on their side usually. So I was kind of shocked to hear that she got raided. There was that one house they kept showing on the news, but the story said there were other places they were searching too, and still I've heard nothing but crickets. I don't know we haven't heard what they were looking for, or if they found what they were looking for. Maybe they're still sifting through the documents. I don't know.
Well, the way it works with the Communist Democrat Party today, think of it as the mafia.
Yeah,
and there are mob bosses, and
it's the mob.
Yeah, and so if one mob ticks off another, then there's this internal battle, and I kind of think that's what's going on here. That's also why they're keeping quiet about the whole thing, because again, they forgive and forget. They just sort of work with each other or turn a blind eye. In this particular case, I think Sheng Chao did something incredibly stupid and incredibly corrupt, and it ticked off factions of this mafia that we now live with. So anyway, that's just an unfolding story, an ongoing story. So we'll see where this goes. As far as the debate goes, Biden's obviously resting, and that he's going to be amped up on whatever. So that's what's going on here. But one of the things two things they're going to talk about is the abortion issue. Media is still pushing more abortion stories, which are non-stories, completely false stories. But again, it's to set up Biden and give him some prompts before he gets on the debate stage. The other thing they're going to talk about is the economy, because one thing that media, well, among everything, I should say, virtually everything the media is not talking about is how bad things are. They keep saying how good things are. The economy is growing. The economy is growing for one reason. That is because massive overspending. The government, just like in the pandemic, threw trillions of dollars into the system that did not exist. They're still doing it with this overspending on this project and that project. We're heading to $35 trillion of deficit. Once that comes to an end, so will the growth and so will the economy. This is why people like Jamie Dimon are suggesting that we are going to have a hard letdown next year. Keep in mind, next year is not an election year. That's when reality usually pokes its head, and we're going to have an extremely difficult time no matter who gets into office. But regarding touting the Biden administration's great economic achievements, there aren't any. All they're doing is spending money we don't have. If they were to put a stop to that right now, that would be the best thing they would do. But, of course, they're Democrats. All they do is spend money.
Well, and they figure that if they're spending money, they're doing their jobs. They're not
Well-
going to tell us what they're spending the money on, of course. They're not spending it on what they're supposed to be spending it on.
Well, as I said before, I mean, they don't want any problem solved. Because if they solve a problem, you don't have to spend the money. You don't have to have their agencies. You don't have to have them and their policies. They want to keep these things going. They want the homeless problem to continue. They want crime to continue. They want the economy to continue to go bad. Even though, again, all this artificial money is sort of like a pain reliever. You don't feel the pain. We will feel it next year in a big, big way if these economists are correct, and I think that they are.
Yeah, the homeless problem has been getting worse decade upon decade.
And by the way, it's not homeless. These are bums. These are drunken, drug-addicted bums. That's who they are. The homeless is too...
You know what they're calling them now is unhoused.
Of course. That's very, very neat and tidy.
Isn't that cute? Dan, I'm out of time.
Terrible. All right, bud. Talk to you tomorrow.
I got to go. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It is 23 past 7.